society thing which has taught us that नहीं एक बार झगड़ा हो गया, be it your family member or be it your friend, what happens is people go into that ego mode and that the alpha male and ये वो, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. Every person is vulnerable and every person has that thing which hits him from within. God has given us voice and given us a language so that we can communicate. That's the reason we are intelligent. But if we are trying to suppress it just like animals, then what is the use of being a human being, right?
Hello everyone, I'm Tanisha from Moun Foundation and we are back with our interesting conversations around men's mental health. Today, we are joined by Mr. KOHINOOR Indani, who is a mechanical and automotive engineer and who skillfully balances his passion for engineering and family business. He is also passionate about motorcycling expeditions in the Himalayas. Welcome to our podcast, sir.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
So, what is the first thought that comes into your mind when you hear about men's mental health?
It's a topic which should be widely discussed. In the growing up years, we always seen that everyone speaks about women's mental health, the well-being, but men's mental health is something which should be addressed, which people should be very comfortable speaking about. Just like how sex education is very common these days, and there's a lot of awareness about it. So similarly, men's mental health. Fortunately, during COVID times, we have gone a bit further ahead, but I still think it's miles before we reach that exact place where everybody is comfortable speaking about men's well-being.
Correct. So, do you really talk about men's mental health in your everyday chores or maybe when you are with your friends or family?
It happens usually, when if you see in the growing up years, it's always been, it's the male ego which has been given precedence, and every time it is like you have to keep your emotions too within yourselves. But there have been incidences with my life, and I'm sure in everyone's life, where some or the other time you really felt it necessary to vent out what is actually going on within you, because that gives you a sense of relief.
Correct.
So in at least in Pune, there have been, I've been fortunate to be in a urban city where these things can be discussed openly with friends.
Right.
And though we are still behind, but the satisfaction index is quite a bit in terms of when we speak with friends one on one.
Right.
So it's always good to discuss and feel free and also give advice to each other.
So, you balance engineering, family business, social work, biking, and family life.
Yeah.
From the outside, it looks well managed. But as a man, do you ever feel the pressure of having to manage everything so perfectly?
Absolutely, because from outside it all looks nice, good enough, but internally everyone goes through a lot of emotions. So every day, just like a good hair day or bad hair day, the emotional well-being also changes every day. I
Right.
believe it is as simple as you see your Indian, for a cricket fan like me, if Indian team wins, I'll have a very good week. But sometimes you're too much caught up with work, and you cannot vent out what's happening within you. There are some incidences which happen. So usually in our society, it's always been like you have to always be strong, look after everyone, provide solutions to everyone. So the internal and external things which happen with a man's mind are totally different.
Correct. You have been living in a joint family of 10 members over the period of time, so many years. Do men in families actually express emotions openly, or are they expected to silently handle all of that?
Unfortunately, the society we growing up in, it's always the men who are looked to for giving solutions, be it anything in life. But I've been a bit fortunate in that way is that we are two brothers. I don't have a sister. So in my growing up years, my mother and my father, they have always, they have looked at us. So there was never really that sort of comparison that if you're feeling emotionally weak, why are you acting like a girl? Or these things never happened with us. But venting out things which are within you, the emotional quotient was definitely lagging, because we have seen generations, I mean, the last 4 decades that, I have seen different societies emerge. So it has been quite different. So in a family of 10 people, but we are trying to bring to the table something more than what our parents could offer. So the kids, when they're growing up, we have always told them it's absolutely good to cry. Even if it's a movie or you feel the loss of someone, or even if somebody you are missing someone, it's okay to emotionally vent yourself out. It's absolutely fine, because
Right.
now fortunately me and my brother both have a boy and a girl each. So now we are a well balanced family,
Family,
where
huh.
we are growing up kids are rather we didn't have we never had a sister, so we never had that, that female connect where you could share something with your sister, or hear stories from her. So we never had that emotional angle, for which we
Right.
got a lot of taunts from our wives itself.
Correct.
But then eventually now with the kids growing up, I think so we are trying to balance it well. As I said in the earlier question, we have miles to go before we reach that.
Correct.
But I think so we are slowly going there.
So this part is still missing in a lot of families when we see in the society that the sons are actually taught to be silent and not cry like a girl.
Right.
And how do you think we can, make a change? We can bring a change in the society.
Firstly, we have to start treating everyone equal. Nowadays what happens, the onus has gone more on to women empowerment and everything. But what happens is, in this whole thing, the men's emotional quotient is not being taken care of. So we are still trying to raise sons the traditional way, which shouldn't be
Correct.
the case. So I think so we need to sit down with both the kids. Even if you have a son or a daughter, you need
Daughter.
to sit down well with them. They need to express, and the true sense of being friends with your children or being friends with your parents also is very important, wherein they should feel, you should make an atmosphere where
Yeah.
they feel comfortable in telling everything to you. If necessary, sometimes venting out your own self, as I said, it's important. And let your emotions flow. The society should be non-judgmental. Like recently I'd like to share an incident wherein I went to Noida to meet my niece, where she just started working.
Okay.
And I went to see whether everything is all right.
Okay.
And when I spent a beautiful day with her, and then when I left for the evening, I was leaving back. So after such a time, we both spent quality time one on one.
Correct.
And in the evening when I left her, I mean, I was started missing her, and I had tears in my eyes, and I didn't stop.
Correct.
If I have to, hide my tears from my niece, then I mean, I think so I have lost it.
Correct.
And even she had tears in her eyes, and it was such a beautiful moment, because life is about experiences, everything.
Yeah.
So it's not like I know she saw my vulnerable side. I was okay with it, because we have brought them up like that. So it was absolutely fine.
Yeah, you
And
tried to normalize it as much as you
yeah,
can.
normal. I mean, crying is okay.
Right.
I mean, see, of course, when you miss someone, it comes from within.
Yeah.
Sometimes you cannot stop your tears, and then you stop your tears and you try to run away. I think so that's running away from your own self.
Right.
So there shouldn't be any vulnerable side to you, is what I believe.
That's very nice. So, growing up, what were you taught about emotions as a man?
Growing up was very weird. In my childhood days, it was a male dominated society.
Right.
That time, it
Yeah.
was like लड़कियों की तरह मत रहो, be strong. लगा है तो भी लड़कियों को बोलेंगे, they will tell them
Yeah.
that it's okay, लगा है तो they will try to pacify. But for boys it was always like, not in my family. My family, as I told you, was very forward thinking. But all the relatives around and everywhere, it was always the women who were kept very very softly and gently, and the boys were like, ah, kuch nahi ho jayega aise. So then what happens is, these things are inculcated in you right from childhood, because you become just how the society is.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason I tell you the society is very important, because it's not only the honors of your parents or your immediate family, but it's the honors of the society. Just like cleanliness happens from the society, similarly, all these things, how to handle emotions, or how should the children be treated while growing up, it all depends on the whole society.
Correct.
So progressively we have seen it happen quite a lot in a place like Pune. But I wish it would have been the other way around. There would be some progressive people who would definitely taken care of that.
Yes.
So I know a lot of people who get into depression. I am into the pharma field, so I know how many people get into depression medicine. Some of them it is inevitable, but I think so almost 50% of them could definitely avoid those medications or those visits by just speaking to their family members or some friend who would be non-judgmental.
Okay.
So those things really matter. And I think so, as a nation, as a society, we really need to, inculcate this thing in a society where, we can speak with anyone.
Were crying and vulnerability accepted or discouraged when you were growing up? And when you grow your children, then what was the situation in the family?
See, crying and vulnerability definitely were targeted mainly towards boys because, as I told you about the whole society. So, you were emotionally hurt. Somebody spoke to you, you felt like crying, but you couldn't. Even when you have got hurt in school days, maybe if you see. So things were different for boys and girls. But these things, as I told you, with my kids when they were in the growing up years, I've taught them to be equal. If you want to cry, you have to cry. Just vent it out. Don't take anything to bed in the night, because at the time when you go to bed, you should be completely relaxed that
Relaxed.
I am not carrying anything
Correct.
to the next day. And it has really worked because it's not about singing lullabies to your kids,
Yeah.
but it's also about taking care of the emotional
Emotional
things.
part also.
So that I have specifically addressed because I have gone through. No, I'm not a victim of anything, but I have seen the society how it moves on. So growing up, I've tried to inculcate in my kids, and hopefully they do the same.
So, have there been moments in life where you felt mentally or emotionally overwhelmed, but still had to stay strong for everyone around you?
Yes, there have been quite a few moments that, especially if we have to talk about the COVID times, when it was a very, very difficult period for everyone
Correct.
around. Though, being, as I told you, being from this pharma field, I have seen a lot of stuff. And, I had friends and relatives calling me every day in the night that we want remdesivir, can you arrange? We have the only hope is from you. And I used to tell them, it's a government control thing, we cannot do that. And people were like, aap nahi karoge to kaun
कौन
karega?
करेगा? हाँ.
And then next day morning, when I used to get up, I used to get a message that aapne try kiya, thank you, but the patient is no more. So it was so difficult. It took a mental toll on me. And everyone is calling me, whom do I share this with to?
Correct.
So then that time I really almost went into depression. I was part of so many WhatsApp groups. I left them all. I had a very good few friends and my wife who actually spoke to me. And then at that time I started using a feature called the sleep mode on mobile. So till today,
okay.
from evening 11 to morning 6 o'clock, my phone doesn't ring unless for all the emergency bypass numbers.
Okay.
Because I found out that sleep is very
Very
paramount,
important.
and that is good for your mental health. And
Right.
such things come when you are vulnerable and you break down. I even lost a very close friend in COVID, and I felt so bad. For the next 2 days I was just watching the photos on repeat mode. And then my wife consoled me and said, what's the problem? And then I burst into crying. I couldn't stop for half an hour because losing someone to
Correct.
COVID and you cannot do anything.
You
So, but trust me, after crying out, I felt at ease at myself and I felt as if I've given him a tribute. And that is very necessary, I think. So,
Right.
most people, because if you don't do that, then one or the other day it will haunt you.
Yeah.
And you are going to have the worst mental health.
Correct.
So, but what happens with men is we are always taught to be strong. अभी तो तुम strong रह लो, बाद में देख लेना खुद का.
Right.
But that doesn't work that way. If your mental health starts declining, it will go a long way.
Correct.
So everyone needs someone. So as I told you, the whole setup should be like that. Your family, it's not only about the person, it's
Right.
also the people nearby who should actually guess what's wrong with that person and try to speak him out.
Exactly.
So-
we really need to nurture an environment where everybody feels emotionally safe.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Correct.
That is very important.
So, moving forward, successful men are often assumed to have it all together.
Yeah.
Do you think this expectation silently affects men's mental health?
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, it does. Because what happens is, with success, there are a lot other many things which come your way. You need to have the right balance, and I'm sure everyone is trying to maintain that right balance. But there's something which is very weird, which I like to share. What happens is, with women, they have those 3-4 days of the month where they are allowed that vulnerability.
Yes.
They are allowed everything. You attribute it to hormonal changes. You attribute to it's God's way of making them relax, or something like that. But for men, what happens is, you're just granted to work like a machine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a mechanical thing. and you don't get time to yourself,
Mm.
and it's balancing. You have to prove yourself in business, you have to prove yourself to be a good parent,
Parent.
you have to be a good son
Husband.
and a husband,
Husband.
and a good friend for everyone around you. But I guess so it's the average of 5 people around you which you have to choose in life,
Correct.
which really make you very well grounded and with whom you can speak anything
Mm.
on this world.
Mm.
So I'm fortunate to have those 5 close people near to me who really are there whenever I need them.
Mm.
And so we discuss everything under the sun. We will discuss sometimes, I tell a couple of my friends, as much about me as my wife does.
Oh,
So you
that's
should
really
also
good.
get friends like that, so with whom you can discuss these things.
Correct.
But the pressure is definitely there,
Mm.
and I think so I am one of the fortunate enough people to have found that whole setup where
Right.
I could do that, but I could do more about it.
Right. So, like many people mistake the definition of being successful, which will affect my mental health eventually. Some of them really think that being successful means struggling
Yeah.
inside out. But they don't believe and they don't really think that struggling inside would not lead you to what successful actually is.
Yes.
So, what do you think about it?
It's a very broad question.
Mm.
So success definitely, along with it, it brings a lot of pressure, tensions, delivering things, managing everything. But I think so we need to be very well balanced in life. Again, it's a part of upbringing. So these days, when you look at the new kids who are just passing out, they get insane salaries. But with insane salaries comes insane pressure.
Correct.
And what happens is you can reach that magic salary in quite a few years, but along with that your mental health is very very paramount.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow if you're not able to enjoy the wealth what you have earned, so this whole salary thing and working thing, because everything comes with pressure,
Right.
so you should definitely know when to stop yourself, or where to limit yourself rather, to go ahead. Because with success, and otherwise once you reach a specific level, you should definitely go in for mental health. You should join all these yoga meditation
Absolutely.
thing. Like recently I was really pressurized with work. I just when I went to Noida, as I told you, I just took 4 days off without a return ticket. I went to Rishikesh.
Oh, wow.
And I
That's
stayed
great.
there alone in a hostel. I was to myself. I woke up whenever I want. I slept whenever I
Yeah.
want. I had food whenever. I roamed around on a bike with all the mandirs and all. And it was very nice. It was very good for my mental well-being. So people need to balance and find time for themselves. What happens is, in our society, we are always striving to work first for your parents, then for your wife, then for your kids.
Correct.
And this is a endless chain which will keep on going. But you should definitely, the society should encourage something to be done for your own self.
Correct.
And it should be very very paramount, because I am sure if somebody makes a questionnaire of 50 questions and asks everyone to answer them honestly, you'll be surprised by the answers by men's mental health. Because it's a without break job, doing same things again and again, and there comes an emptiness in your life. So you need to find things to do.
Correct.
Go socialize, and again find the 5 friends
Friends.
whom
Yeah.
will make you realize what you exactly are.
Yeah, we are humans. We need to unwind ourselves.
Absolutely.
We need to relax. Otherwise, there is no point of struggling so much if you can't relax
Yeah.
our day. or
True,
our-
true.
So, my next question is: men often connect self worth with success and responsibility. Have you ever felt pressure because of career, business, or family expectations?
Yeah, sometimes I have definitely felt that thing coming. But I have to I try to balance it out, because fortunately for me, I stay in a joint family and the business also joined.
Joint.
So
yeah.
I have my elder brother Shalimar, who's also along with me. So we really manage it well. So whenever there is a pressure situation, we try to manage each other well, and he's always been a guiding force.
Right.
In I always believe that when my mind stops working, he's the one who will
Oh.
start from there.
So he's your back.
Yeah, he's my back, and so is my father is like my guru. So
Oh.
whenever we stumble upon something, he is the one who will give the right advice. Of course, he's retired now, but He's always involved in a day-to-day business, and whenever we are stuck, we have place to go to. So fortunately, it has been good for me. The pressure does come in, but as I said, then we
You
have
handle
to.
it well
Yeah,
because-
yeah. I try to handle it well. I am not sure, but it's a ongoing thing.
Okay. So when stress becomes too much, what do you do? How you rewind yourself?
So when it is too stressful, as I told you, I usually have a couple of hobbies. I love to bike around. I am very much into music. So I play the instruments. I play the synthesizer and the bongo.
Okay, okay.
And
yeah.
also I love aquariums. So I've got turtles and lots of aquariums. So whenever I have to Sunday mornings is reserved, like 3 hours is for my aquariums. And trust me, when I am engrossed in feeding them, cleaning the tanks, those 3 hours my phone is off and I cannot think of anything else. That's the best part.
Correct.
Nothing comes to my mind. So everybody should pursue an hobby,
Hobby.
because a hobby which you really love, it shouldn't be a forced on hobby.
Right.
Anything what you
It's
want to
choice
do.
of your own
So
interest.
when I go biking in the Himalayas, the phone is off. You can only hear the noise of bullet, and you are just observing the nature, and that is the time you unwind. So something like that you should have. I'm fortunate to have a lot of hobbies,
Hobbies, yeah.
which are my FDs for my mental health, and also for the days when I go old. So I have loads of things to do, and I think so everyone should have it. And
That's
that
what keeps you grounded and balanced. And
absolutely you should have something to cut yourself off.
Yeah.
And that is paramount.
Okay. So you, like you told just now, you lead biking expeditions in the Himalayas.
Yeah.
So what impact does biking and adventure have on your mental well-being?
Biking teaches you a lot of things. Firstly, you can have your me time, enjoy it, and completely cut yourself off from the world. And it teaches you that no matter what the age, you can always
Ride a bike.
ride a bike.
And enjoy.
Just kickstart a bike and let yourself off to wherever you want to.
Right.
And it's like I always tell my wife, every summer vacation you have your parents' place where you go for a
Go for
vacation.
it, yeah.
What about us guys?
Correct.
Where do we go?
आप लोग को बाइक नहीं होता.
कहाँ जाएंगे? So for me, going out on a bike ride is like going on a summer vacation, just like how my wife does.
Right.
And this is the justification, frankly, which has bought me all these bike rides till date.
Okay.
So I mean that teaches you a lot, and as I told you, it's a hobby which I intend to pursue for a very long time. I do the mountains, but tomorrow I would do the plain roads as well, and well, so I can do it till my late retirement years. Is something which I want to catch up to and keep it.
Correct. So I would like to add here that even so many research has been done that how bike adventures really lead to emotional well-being and mental well-being. And biking is, I think, one of the most popular and growing kind of therapy for men. Even women nowadays, women
Very
also
true.
rides a bike nowadays,
Yeah.
but for men it is a emotion.
Very true.
And so how would you like to, elaborate on this point, that how does it impact on men's emotions?
I'll tell you one small thing. Whenever we go for a bike ride, I always tell my friends that first of all, in the Himalayas you should only go with people who are very close to you.
Correct.
Because the mountains, the oxygen, they really make you short tempered.
Right.
And plus, when nowadays there's a mobile network everywhere, but in the earlier days, mobile didn't work.
Right.
So all your mobile was for clicking pictures. So by the end of the trip, a couple of the friends would know more about me than my wife, as I told you, because you sit there and you speak, and then it's not like if you go to Leh Ladakh, you cannot just run around due to the altitude and oxygen. So you're like sitting like lazy pigs and chatting for hours, which in this age people have very short attention span.
Yeah, so many distractions have been around.
So to speak to somebody for half an hour is counted as अरे भैया आधा घंटा बैठ लिया.
बैठ लिया, बहुत
But
socializing हो
if
गई.
you go to Himalayas biking,
Yeah.
every 2 hours you take a break, and you speak about random things. There is no geopolitics, nothing.
Nothing.
General agenda. You take a memory from the past, you speak about it, and that is so stress relieving.
Correct.
So ये सब चीज़ें वहाँ जाके I have learned that you can speak anything to your friends without being judgmental. Of course you have to have those friends, and if you are speaking, then you also have to listen to them. It's a
Right.
two-way thing, right?
Process, absolutely.
But that thing really unwinds you, and those 8-10 days whatever you're there, they are really very important, because that completely relaxes you for the next coming 11 months or so.
Totally.
So that's my takeaway from that.
So during long rides or treks, have there been any moments of deep self-reflection or emotional clarity?
Yeah, there has been, because these are the places where you sit with yourself. You think of everything what has happened with you, typically like it happens in the movies. You go into that flashback mode.
Yeah.
And even while sleeping, you cannot put yourself to sleep for 1 hour, because you are in the terrain, especially in the mountains. And you think of all the things what could have been rightly done, what exactly you need to do, the emotional clarity, what happens if I need to speak with someone and sort things out. So these things happen a lot. Like I'll again like to share an example.
Yes.
I once went for a bike ride, and there was a very close friend who is now in Europe.
Okay.
And due to some miscommunication over just a birthday wish, we had some issues wherein he thought so I forgot his birthday, and that spiraled out into that typical ego thing. And women usually they try to speak to each other and sort things out. But men, it is like I know people whose egos from college days have now come all the long way after 2 decades. So I said that's not the one for me. I am a person who would like to make friends and keep them for life.
Correct.
I can proudly claim that I don't have a single friend whom I have unfriended or he has unfriended me. That is what I want in life. So this friend, there was some miscommunication. So I decided what I'm going to speak to him. I went and I thought about this whole thing, and I actually wrote it down, because I made it like a business meeting. I wrote down all the points I want to discuss with him. The next time when he was in India, I said we need to speak, because we have been such good friends for such a long time. I went there and I blasted myself out in front of him. Then he also did the same, of course, because but then even I realized that it's not like tali ek haath se nahi bajta. There are things from both the sides. So then we emotionally had a 2-hour long fight with all jhagdas, and end mein we hugged each other and we made up for it. So it's very simple in life. You need to speak. सामने वाले को क्या लगे पता नहीं. If he speaks to you again, then you have succeeded very well. If he doesn't, तो ऐसे भी तुम्हारा friend था ही नहीं, वो बोल ही नहीं रहा था. So practically speaking, you have got nothing to lose. But if you try to sort it out, it's very easy. But that ego thing and the society thing which has taught us that नहीं, एक बार झगड़ा हो गया, be it your family member or be it your friend, what happens is people go into that ego mode, and that the alpha male and ये वो, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. Every person is vulnerable, and every person has that thing which hits him from within. So you have to sort it out, and that is very important. Why I'm sharing this, because it has happened. I tell it to all of my other friends, because I said that it is something which I've done and I'm proud of it.
Yeah, because
and if I can inspire others, then why not?
Right. We as a society have normalized that only women does these things.
Yeah.
Venting out, fighting with friends, breaking off, and even hugging at the end.
Right.
But no, we think that men does not do that. Men just abuse with each other and it goes on. But no, we should normalize that even men can have problems in friendships.
Absolutely.
Venting with each other and making it better, fixing it is also important part of life.
I have always done that, be it with a few cousins or my friends. I have always tried to reason it out with them, because that's how you go on. You just earn people in life. You shouldn't lose them.
Correct.
I mean, in terms of relationship is what I mean. So that is that should be everywhere, even with your people who work for me, even my employees. One more example, if you're good with it, I'll share. So one of my employees, he's a very senior guy, and he recently had a broken marriage.
Okay.
His parents also passed away in the last couple of years, and due to some incident with someone, he really was on the verge of, कि मुझे जीना ही नहीं है, I want to kill myself, ऐसे वैसे था. So I realized that even if it doesn't work for me, it's fine. But for me, if he's been working for me such long, there has to be a human angle to it.
Yes, yes.
So I actually sat with him for a couple of hours. I told him क्या problem है. I just discussed things with him. He had booked a ticket to his native place up north. I made him cancel it. I gave him the refund on time. I spoke to him in such a way that I made him cry.
Okay.
And crying, literally, I'm telling you, he vented himself out. And the person who was thinking about suicide and leaving everything and going, from the next day onwards, it was like magic.
Magic, yeah.
So what I mean to say is just helping someone cry.
Yeah.
A man, helping a man cry is very good.
Very, and a man
And
to man.
today he's so happy.
Yeah.
And I see him, he's still working for me.
Oh, wow.
And he must be grateful in his heart and eyes.
Correct.
But I don't see it that way. I just think I have helped someone.
Yeah.
And that person really needed a friend, because sometimes life can be isolated.
Yes.
For somebody who's working away from his home. So there are thousands of people who are working here away from their family just for money. But their emotional things are never been taken care of. And especially in the people who are not educated, these things are hardly spoken about.
Yeah.
So these things, it doesn't take 2 घंटे लगे, it's sorted for life.
Right.
Even if you have people around you, in lockdown we have seen you speaking to a watchman and telling him good morning also helps a lot.
Yes.
So these
a small gesture, a small good
सिर्फ वो
morning.
मुन्ना भाई में एक बार दिखा के करके होता नहीं है. But every day in life, your mates, for somebody who comes to pick up the trash, you speak to them and they will really happy. Next day वही आपको बोलेंगे good morning. And ये अच्छा है. ये पूना में तो अच्छा कल्चर है. And I am really looking forward कि ये जितना spread हो, उतना better है.
So the example you just gave gives a great lesson to our audience as well as me, that how you can just save someone's life just speaking to them.
Absolutely.
Just asking them, how are you? How have you been? What is going on?
Yeah.
So just a one-liner question can save someone's life.
Absolutely.
But we don't realize, we don't speak, we don't ask people nowadays that how are you? We just ask that, हाँ ठीक है, कैसा चल रहा है? But do we really sit with them and ask, how's life? So that's what, everybody, and a man to man is a very new thing, because our society has normalized it so much that only a woman can speak from heart or can be emotional. But no, a man can also be emotional to other men.
Absolutely. You need to speak with everyone, and in your family, friends, you need to have a one-on-one connection with everyone. Because this is you don't need a counselor for this, because nobody is going to pay. अपने आप पे वैसा आया नहीं अभी तक culture.
That culture is not.
But you should speak to everyone, like even your mates, everyone in your family. This doesn't limit to only men or women. It's about everyone. Tomorrow you're helping someone. Today you're helping someone. Tomorrow somebody else may come and help you. So it's like a equation thing. You just have to keep it balanced.
Correct. So moving forward, as a father, what lessons about emotions and mental strength do you want to teach your children, especially sons?
Emotionally, I have always from childhood, I have got a son and a daughter. I have taught both of them to be very, very independent, express themselves. I have a one-on-one bonding with each one of them, in spite of their mother being their darling. So because a father has to be tough. No doubt I am called the Hitler of the house, because we stay in a joint family, we have 4 kids, but somebody has to be. But again, there is a soft side to everyone, and we have always treated everyone equally. So even the girls are taught to answer everyone properly in case they are being suppressed somewhere. And so the boys are taught to express themselves whenever they are going through a down phase.
Correct.
So it's been a wonderful thing for me. All the 4 kids are equal in terms of everything. All the opportunities which have been presented to the boys have been equally been the same to the girls. And also while sharing everything, the kids have been completely open. Sometimes they'll share with their mom,
Yeah.
sometimes with their dad. But as long as they're sharing with someone,
Someone.
we are
That what
absolutely
matters.
fine.
Yes.
And going ahead, we have taught them because in these days where everything is available so freely
So
in
yeah.
life, the principally keeping your children grounded
Hmm.
and telling them to be friends in the real sense with your family is the only thing which we can give them.
Correct.
Tomorrow they are going to earn, they are going to have a good life, they are going to have access to everything, good, bad. So your the whole principles which you set,
Yeah.
and always being open to whenever they want to express themselves,
Right.
is what will actually help them succeed in life, is what I believe in. And that again, you're not just investing in them, it's also investing for the generation which comes
Generation
ahead,
comes.
because these things have been passed on to us not only by the parents but by grandparents also. So it's
Correct.
our duty to completely
To
take care.
pass on the values.
And
and-
unfortunately, as I told you, we are stay in a joint family, so everyone, we have been co-parenting all the kids along with our
Correct.
parents.
Yeah.
So then that becomes easy.
Easy. Correct. Why do you think men still hesitate to talk openly about mental health in India?
See, it's a society-based thing. Unfortunately, our forefathers had this very alpha thing, wherein they were supposed to silently carry the whole burden, and everyone till date in a lot of families, what happens is the men are expected to look after work, look after earning money, making things work for the family, or being there to answer the queries asked by any member in the family. But because they are at the top of the hierarchy,
Right.
the head of the family. But what happens, till the time they have somebody to ask, to an elder brother or somebody, they can always ask, but they are considered as vulnerable if they try to speak something.
Yes.
So I think so it's the whole society model which needs to be changed. You need to have conversations, honest conversations. And there should definitely be sessions in school as well.
Correct.
Just like how sex education is now a new norm in all the schools, it's not only about the girls but the boys as well. So this thing needs to be addressed, which unfortunately nobody is addressing.
Correct.
It should start from the school, that it's okay to cry, it's okay to ask questions, because it's not about educating the men alone, it's also about educating the women, the girls.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if you find somebody vulnerable, you shouldn't be looking down to them.
Yeah.
That is more important. So as a society we need to grow. So
And it starts from schools and families.
it definitely starts. See, when they start in school, what happens is the children will come home and ask their parents. They will actually retrospect about it. They will think about it. Then when you in school, when you ask the children to ask questions at home, then tomorrow obviously it dawns upon the parents also that it's like revision of things which you already know, but you're
Right.
not ready to openly say it out in public.
Yes.
So these things really help. I fortunately had done a course called ISP.
Okay.
It is a infant Siddhi Samadhi Yoga program by a organization which also does SSY. So in that they had taught us, how to grow up children very naturally. I mean,
That's
very
great.
organically, with being part of them, not differentiate between boy and girl.
Yeah.
And there are courses available. In this digital age, everything is available.
Everything
It's
is
just that
available on-
it should be. I think so. The government should, make it mandatory points.
Yeah.
Doing these
No,
courses,
it's
staying with
important.
family.
Yeah.
Because not only with kids but also with elderly parents, how you treat them and
Yes,
everything,
yes,
this has
yes.
become a norm of society. So government should intervene, and you should have these courses.
Right.
And I don't know, that something like this would definitely help. And people want brownie points, you offer them brownie points for doing such
Yes,
courses related to something, and people would do it, and it's for the betterment of society. See, in
Correct.
lockdown people stayed together with families.
Yes.
So many people got so much connected with the families. So that was a time. But I am sure
That
there are
was a
ways,
brownie situation
and
as
somebody
well.
like you guys do something about it, definitely it will create more awareness.
Absolutely, sir. So, one final message you would like
Yeah.
to tell a man who is silently struggling but feels asking for help makes him weak.
Boss, you're totally wrong. That I would tell that man, because if you are not reaching out to people, if you are not expressing yourself, and if you are leaving it to the thing that jab time aayega tab bataunga, then trust me, it is completely eroding you from inside. Because as I told you now, every day in the night you should go to bed thinking that I have an empty mind. Just speak it out. जिसको अच्छा लगे अच्छा, बुरा लगे बुरा.
बुरा.
But what happens speaking, God has given us voice and given us a language
Correct.
so that we can communicate. That's the reason we are intelligent.
Correct.
But if we are trying to suppress it just like animals, then what is the use of being a
Absolutely.
human being, right?
Yes, yes.
And you need to find the right system, and obviously as if you are a speaker, you should also be a listener. So you need to find a good friend, find somebody who's non-judgmental, find somebody in your family. I'm sure there are many of the people willing to listen to you. And once you speak it out, trust me, you feel so light.
Yeah.
And you can always apologize if you go wrong.
Yeah.
See, if a person who can say sorry can say anything in the world, because you don't have an ego.
Correct.
Right? And ego is not going to take you anywhere.
Correct.
So just vent out everything, feel free, enjoy whatever you have in life, and that is going to, because at the end of the day, as somebody says, you have come with an empty hand, you're going to go with an empty hand.
Yeah.
So why not let's implement it in practical life. Everyone's going to be having ups and downs in life, but try speaking. As I gave you examples about my friend, about my employee.
Yes.
So sometimes I have spoken out, sometimes I have listened,
Yeah.
and in both the cases I have found success. So it's not necessary you always find it, but if it makes you light and if it improves your lifestyle and somebody else's, then why not?
Talking really helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a wonderful message, sir. Yes. Thank you so much for all the interesting answers you have given us today. And I think many men would really help watching this podcast. It might bring a massive change. We never know.
Absolutely. Thank you for curating those questions, because
thank you
I also never knew that I would be able to answer all of them.
Right.
But the flow with you, it just kept on happening, and I am glad we had a very good conversation.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.